Did New Zealand's Deputy Prime Minister just crash karma? The smoking ban showdown that's lighting up Westminster. Picture this. You're at a posh London think tank event, maybe nibbling on canapes and pretending you're fascinated by GDP growth curves, when suddenly, kaboom, the air crackles with controversy. New Zealand's Deputy Prime Minister, David Seymour, takes the stage and drops a rhetorical grenade squarely into the middle of the room. He calls Britain's generational smoking ban, wait for it, evil. Yes, evil, as if the UK had morphed into some tobacco-flavored dictatorship. If you think this is a plot twist, just wait. Because according to Seymour, smokers aren't just making questionable life choices. They are fiscal heroes keeping the economy afloat. Intrigued? Buckle up, because the story only gets wilder from here. Let's rewind to 2022. New Zealand's government, led by Jacinda Ardern, decided to make history by passing a law that would create a generation legally barred from ever buying cigarettes. If you were born after a certain date, tobacco products will be forever beyond your reach. A bold move, revolutionary to some, tyrannical to others. The world took notice, but perhaps no one more eagerly than UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Spotting a policy with global headlines, Sunak gave it the classic British remix. Hold my non-alcoholic beer, I'm nicking that idea. The UK's own tobacco and vapes bill was born, promising to ban cigarette sales to anyone born after 2009. Cue the headlines, the hand-wringing, and the inevitable parliamentary drama. But, plot twist, in New Zealand, a right-wing coalition swept into power in 2023, led by the ACT Party's David Seymour. Their first order of business? Bin the smoking ban, and fast. Suddenly, the country that invented the generational ban was now the stage for its most vocal critic. Fast forward to that fateful night at the Adam Smith Institute in London. Seymour, a man not known for mincing words, went full throttle. He called the UK's smoking ban evil, a word you rarely hear outside of Bond villains or particularly vicious football commentary. But here's where it gets bonkers. Seymour's argument? Smokers, he claimed, are actually helping the country's finances. They pay heaps in tobacco taxes, then, grimly, die younger, drawing less from the state pension. In his words, if you want to save your country's balance sheet, light up. It's an argument so bizarre it almost demands a second look, like a headline that reads, Drunk Drivers, the Unsung Heroes of Traffic Reduction. The logic is, at best, creative. Seymour's point was that government shouldn't micromanage adults' choices. Warn people, ensure the NHS isn't bankrupted by smoking-related illness, then step aside. But branding a cancer prevention policy evil? That's a rhetorical cigarette burn. Meanwhile, in the UK, the generational ban isn't exactly sailing through Parliament. The tobacco and vapes bill is currently meandering through the House of Lords, where peers are debating amendments like a proposed outright ban on all tobacco products from 2040. Because if there's anything more British than a policy compromise, it's a complete ban with a 16-year warning. Labour's political mastermind Morgan McSweeney is reportedly watching with one hand on the kill switch, ready to jettison unpopular amendments faster than a chancellor dumps a doomed budget. Meanwhile, backbench MPs are getting twitchy, and the Lords are sharpening their amendments. This bill is wobblier than a smoker's hands on day one of quitting. Seymour didn't stop at the smoking ban. He had a field day mocking British politics more broadly, sniggering at department names like Ed Miliband's Department for Energy Security and Net Zero, which admittedly sounds like something from a BBC satire. And he wasn't shy about suggesting that UK politicians lack conviction, consistency, and, frankly, a bit of backbone. Coming from a Kiwi, that's like being told you're bad at rugby, painful because it might just be true. So, what are we left with after this diplomatic dust-up? On one side, Seymour's libertarian logic. Adults should be left to make their own mistakes, even if those mistakes are carcinogenic. On the other, the public health imperative. Save lives, reduce NHS costs, and discourage the next generation from picking up a deadly habit. Is the generational smoking ban an act of enlightened government or shocking overreach? Is Seymour bravely defending adult liberty or just blowing smoke? The answer, as always, probably lies somewhere in between. So, over to you. Is David Seymour right to roast Britain's smoking ban, or is he just fanning the flames of controversy for political sport? Should government protect us from ourselves, or trust us to make our own choices, even when those choices are bad for us? Drop your thoughts below. I read everyone, even the ones telling me I'm as wrong as a wet cigarette. If you want more international politicians demolishing British policy decisions, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Because in UK politics, the only thing that moves faster than a Tory leadership contest is the next diplomatic roasting. Stay sharp, stay informed, and maybe don't take fiscal advice from people who think lung cancer is a budget solution. See you in the next one.